And we're here today to speak to you about the upcoming event. And do you know it is now only 10 days away? Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, August 26th, the second annual Unity in the Community at Dansbury Park, 15 Day Street, Strasburg, PA 18302, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Bring your family, bring your friends. If you can't attend, tell a friend. All right, again, so welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a panel of ladies again today. We're waiting for the other male to come to start this show off. So, as we usually start off with a general question, and before I do that, I'll just have everyone introduce themselves. I'm Coco.
Hi, my name is Victoria Ramos.
Hi, my name is Shaquana Terry.
All right, all right, all right. And I think from the corner of my peripheral, the other male is walking in. All right, all right. So, my question that I usually start off with is, what does unity in the community mean to you? And we'll start off with you, Victoria.
All right, so unity in the community to me refers to an idea of people coming together, collaborating within a local or a social group, supporting one another, and we all having that one common goal, which is to better the whole entire community.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Shaquana.
Everything she just said, but also just making sure that everyone has a common goal. Everyone is there to better the community. Everyone is there to make sure that the community strives as a whole and not just separation. We need to all be together as one, coming together for a common goal.
Right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to add to what Victoria and Shaquana said, and it's the same common thing, coming together as one for a common cause. And I would like to introduce the male of the group today. And is it Zell? If I'm saying that correct?
Yeah, you said it correct.
All right. So Zell, can you introduce yourself and let us tell us what unity in the community means to you?
How you doing? I'm Zell, aka Zelly Zell, aka the real Zelly Zell. If you want to follow me at the real Zelly Zell. I'm a rapper and producer, and I'll be performing August 26th. Thank you. Unity in the community means exactly what y'all said, but yeah, just finding a way to, put your resources together. A lot of times in community, you might underestimate the next man or the next woman because they're in your community, and you might not think that they have the resources that they do. So I feel like unity community is big. Just, you got to come together, have a conversation, figure out what the other person's doing. You might not get nothing out of the conversation, but just share, share your knowledge. Yeah, and network. And just don't underestimate anybody. The community is strength in numbers, so it takes a village.
Exactly. Right. And usually when I ask this question, I never turn it over to Terry. What does unity in the community mean to you?
I don't even know why you did that to me. Because the community means everything to me.
Right.
And to have unity, is to bring everybody together. No matter what the situation is, where you are, we're better together.
Right.
That's our mantra. We're better together. Mm-hmm. Because collectively, everything that we have is right here in the community. We shouldn't have to go outside our community for anything, because all our resources are here. Financial, social, government, everything's right here. Mm-hmm. And all we got to do is like that old song that Diana Ross and them sang. She said, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to do is reach out and touch somebody's hand because, it ain't even 6 degrees of separation. Sometimes all you got to do is show up and ask somebody. Mm-hmm. And if we are community, whatever you need can be delivered. Nobody should ever be in need in our community. And that's why we're going to have this unity community. This is the second annual event that we're doing. Mm-hmm. And we just got to keep it going. That's what it's all about.
All right. And we have another guest in the room. You want to say something? I know you're not on the camera, on the mic, but feel free. State your name and what does unity in the community mean to you?
Hello, how are you? My name is Kendall Stevenson Sr. And unity in the community means family. So, like with every family, the the strongest and the greatest organization known to man is family. So when you have a strong community, everybody's part of the family.
Oh, thank you,
Right.
thank you.
Love
He's
that.
our photographer for the day.
And the
All right.
event.
Oh,
That's
and the
great.
event. All right. So again, second annual Unity in the Community on Saturday, August 26th from 11 to 7. Fun full day at Dansbury Park, 15 Day Street, Stroudsburg, PA 18302. All right. So who do I start with? Do I start with you? I know you said
We
your
can
name.
start with me or we can start with you. Let's not forget you have your business too.
All right, so we'll do this. So just to give acknowledgement to those that helped put this together for the planning committee, Unity in the Community Planning Committee for 2023 was Terry, Rudd, myself, Coco, China, Kalima, Joanna, Jose, Lenore, Tony, and Keith, and a host of people behind the scenes. So, and if you'd like to call in, I did put in the chat box. The number here is 888-304-4401. So give us a call at 888-304-4401. And I do see Mia and Maromi, if I'm saying that correctly, online. Please feel free to give us a call into the radio show. All right, so we'll start with me. Again, my name is Coco. I'm the CEO of Miko2 Group, and it's a legit call center. So that's one of the resources within our community. And for the last 2 episodes, Trish teased me about not knowing my business offhand. So I actually printed out all my information. I was ready for my test today, and she's not here. Hey, Trish, I know you're looking. So basically, we hire for independent contractors to answer calls for Fortune 500 companies, and we accept everyone in the United States. We actually have a independent company in Canada that we work with as well.
That's
But-
awesome.
But currently, Miko2 does not contract for the following states: California, Connecticut, Maryland, Massachusetts, New York, Oregon, and Wisconsin. And basically, all you need is high-speed internet, a laptop, and at least Windows 11. All right, and that's Miko2group.com, and that's MICO 2group.com. So now I'll turn it over to Victoria.
Before you do, is this something that you do at home?
Oh yes, it's a legit work from home company, and you
Okay.
can find us on DNB, the Better Business Bureau. We're legit. Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, my name is Victoria Ramos. I am the owner of Party Victoriously. If you're looking to add an extra dose of fun to your event, Party Victoriously will bring that to you. Okay, so if you are looking for treats for your taste buds, okay, we have a popcorn machine. To chill out in style, we have snow cones, okay? Indulge in your sweet tooth. We have a delightful cotton candy machine. So we have popcorn, we have snow cone and cotton candy. We also have an outdoor movie cinema where we get to set up for you guys. We'll have the big 20-foot screen.
Mhm.
All right, we'll have the speakers and everything set up, and it could be for a movie for 2, a romantic date.
Right, there you go.
Okay, or it can be for an event for any of your children. People like to have different experiences with their children, especially for parties. So if you're looking for an event, we're here and we're here to help you.
And
So-
what's the contact information?
Contact information. So it's 570-460-7490.
One more time, a little slower.
570-460-7490. So you can contact me. My name is Victoria Ramos, and I'm the owner of Party Victoriously.
Woohoo! And she will be at Dansbury Park on
Yes.
Saturday, August 26th. And again, she mentioned she has packages and everything for all types of event.
Yes,
leading
so we'll
the
have
kids.
all of that out there. We'll have our bounce house out. We'll have face painting. So if you want your kids to have face paint and look beautiful while they're having fun at this event, definitely come and show up.
Mhm. And so she's one of the vendors or sponsoring the children's activity. We also have paparazzi jewelry person coming out, craft, clothing, book bag giveaways. We're going to have someone walking around registering people to vote. So if you are not registered to vote in Monroe County, they will be able to assist. We'll have activities like the car show. Jesse, if you need to call in, if you're listening, the number is 888-304-4401. Jesse from Northeast Car Beast will be having that activity, the car show. We'll have Zumba, Double Dutch. We also have the Pocono Environmental Education coming out, bringing activities for the kids where to learn about nature and things like that. We also have like credit repair, real estate, and so much more. So please, 10 days from now will be the second annual Unity in Community, Saturday, August 26th, a full fun day at Dansbury Park, 15 Day Street, Stroudsburg, PA, 18302 from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're also going to have a 50-50 raffle. And as the days go on, we'll keep announcing on our social media whatever activities we'll have. All right. So
That's awesome.
That's great.
so should I turn it over to Terry and then you get it started?
You can.
All right. So Terry, before we get into our next guest, can you speak about the DJs that will be at the Dansbury Park event?
Okay, first I want to give a big shout out, big shout out to all the people that helped sponsor the event.
Yes.
All right. Lori Whitfield, she is one of the stage sponsors. She came through, she's a local attorney,
That's awesome.
you know,
Nice, nice.
member of the Bar Association right here
All
in
right.
Stroudsburg. And she's been here for 25 years, and she made a donation towards the stage.
All right.
Awesome.
1836 Saloon, they made a donation to one of the stage sponsors.
1836.
That's right. And
Focus.
Keith,
on.
Keith Drayton, Focus on You,
Mm.
photography,
That's
another
awesome.
stage sponsor, you know.
Mhm.
Then of course, you know, Gynesis Radio is a stage sponsor.
All right.
You know,
Yes.
bring the
That's
sound
awesome,
and the stage. And it's quite a few other people who made some donations there, but I had to shout them out right there because they had a lot of impact on what we're doing here. You know, and there's people donated towards the entertainment. We have Intro coming to perform, Platinum Recording Arts Intro be in the building performing.
Nice.
You know, again, I got a little trick up my sleeve. You know, hopefully if the donations keep coming in and I can take care of his people, good friend of mine is gonna come and share his talents with us. I ain't gonna say his name, but I'm gonna point to his plaque back there
Yeah.
on the top of the corner back there. So,
All right.
you know, so
No names.
no names, because you know, it's a surprise. But anyway, but that's what we're doing. You know, entertainment is what I do. It's what we do. You know, long 30 years of entertainment right here. You know, we're gonna have some great DJs in the building.
There you
You
go.
know, we got the most interesting DJ in the world, DJ Rudd,
All right.
who's my partner right here at Gynesis Radio. You know, we got DJ Hot Sauce. You know, DJ Strategy.
All right.
You know, Mixed Master Asiatic. You know, DJ Dutchy Bang. You know, we got quite a few guys here. You know, one guy who we're gonna honor, who's not gonna be here with us, is you know,
Yes.
DJ Swift. You know,
Okay.
I got a quick story about Swift though. You know, I moved here over 22 years ago, right? And as you know, Copa, I used to throw these elaborate pool parties, right?
Mhm.
And Swift was a young cat on the scene. You know, Swift a little younger than me, right?
Mhm.
You know, and he was an up and coming DJ up here. You know, and he wasn't doing much at the time, right? And I didn't even know him, but you know what? You know me, I like to give anybody a shot. You know, and a lot of people don't remember that was the first time people saw Swift perform live. Was at my pool party.
Wow.
You know, and Swift came. You know, he didn't have a whole lot of equipment, but it was a pool party.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And come on, sit up back here. I think he set up on my deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
He set up on the deck. You know, he was a real laid back, cool dude, real quiet and reserved, because most of the people that was there was a little little older than him, you know.
Mhm.
He didn't know if he was gonna be able to rock that crowd, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But he did his thing, you know,
Yeah,
man.
right.
He made his mark, you know, and the rest was history. You know, next thing I know, Swift was everywhere.
Yep.
You know what I mean? How he became the number one DJ in the Poconos. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes.
You know, and I was like, wow, man. You know,
Yeah.
was I instrumental in you know breaking him as a DJ up here in the Poconos? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
like I said, my pool parties was elaborate.
Yes.
You know, we had all kinds of people at you know at my pool parties. We had celebrities that came through and hung out and
Mhm.
did what they do and whatnot, and it was just a great time, you know. But
And that year, I had turned 40, and I always say Swift DJ for my 40th birthday party, which was at Terry's house. All I did was piggyback.
that's right.
Bring
Uh-huh.
food and bring the people, and it was a nice pool party. And then when I turned 50, I was like, oh, I need you to come DJ for me up in Melanin's for my 50th birthday party. So yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
That's
how about
awesome.
that? Yeah, you know. So, but yeah, you know, we always save a little spots for Swift. You know what I
Yes.
mean? You know, I was trying to get him. I always trying to get him. Come on, Swift, come on, join us over here. But you know, he's over there rocking with CO Cat and them. You know, and
Mhm.
I respected his loyalty because he was a loyal dude, man.
Yes.
You know, he would say, "Yo, T, you know, I got love for you, man, but I'm rocking over here with CO Cat and them." And I'm like, "Yeah," I said, "You know, you can still rock with them too." You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, hey, listen, it's called syndication, man. You know what I mean?
There you go.
You know, but without further ado, we're gonna pass it over because you know I'm getting emotional now because you know
Yes.
that's just the impact. I'm a real dude, you know what I mean? And when people impact my life, like I impact their life, you know what? I can go on talking about for days, you know,
Right,
because I got
right.
plenty of stories, you know what I mean? So without further ado,
Turn it over to his wife,
I'm gonna turn it over to his wife. There you go.
Shaquana Terry. You have the
Hi.
floor.
Oh, my gosh. It's so nice to hear you talk about him in that manner. I think the stories are similar when it comes to his talent, when it comes to who he was as a person, as a DJ. You know, he was just, he knew his craft and he did it well. And he was definitely well known in the Poconos. And to go back to your story about him DJing at your pool party, I remember there are stories that were told with him DJing at Miss Yvette's basement parties where all those
Oh,
kids
yes.
used to be,
Yes.
right? So that's it because he started here in what, 96?
Mhm.
Wow.
So he, young guy, DJing for, of course, know the crowd as well as for the children. So he definitely had a wide range. His musical tastes were just all encompassing. He always, had that knack just to. He said it doesn't matter about the genre. It's all about music and all about. He always tell me transitions matter, babe. Transitions matter. So he had that thing. He's like, no, we can't do this with that. No, these BPMs are wrong. So that's how I learned. But he was always willing to rock a party and also offer his expertise and advice in regards to music as a whole and as into the craft. I don't want to get emotional. As everyone knows, I don't know if you know, but he passed away on July 22nd, 2022, after a long battle with colon cancer. And that's what I'm here to talk about because it's slowly killing us because of the foods that we are eating. And it is also silent. So cancer is the second leading cause of death in the U.S. However, the second highest cancer deaths is colon. And you can live with colon cancer for a very long time without even knowing that you have it. And that was his diagnosis. He had lived with it for a very, very long time, according to the doctor, before he developed symptoms. By the time we found that it was already at stage 4.
Wow.
And they had given him 6 months to live.
Mm.
Thankfully, he was here 3 years.
I gotta say,
Wow.
he lived longer than that.
Yes, he did.
Time.
Yeah, so he did. Thank God, he gave us time to get things in order, get things, just to have him do the things that he wanted to do. But it's important that we, as a community, because cancer is no respect of person. It's
Right.
it has no color. It crosses all boundaries, and I tell everyone, make sure that anything that you have, if you have a stomach issue or there's something going on with you, just go to the doctor, and because you may not have insurance, or you may have, but I'd rather have a $3,000 colonoscopy bill than a $25,000 funeral bill. If you
Right,
if you
right.
understand what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying, right?
Mhm.
It's that part, and I just want to let everyone know, it's very important, to go into the doctor, get your screenings. Colon cancer, like I said, it's very, very, very silent,
Mhm.
and it can come in forms of just, how can I put this? And if you allow me some moment to kind of get my emotions
No,
in
go
check.
ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
It can come in a ways of, I have a little stomach ache, or I can't use the bathroom, IBS, things of that nature.
Right.
And when you go to the doctor, then they'll tell you, they'll give you the necessary tests. But he was 41 when he was diagnosed. At that time, there was no tests for him, right? They were saying, hey, listen, this may not be this may not be that, but he was 41, and the colon cancer age, the screening age, was 50.
Wow.
Wow.
So now they dropped it down to 45. But so that's indicative of how many people are getting it right now. Memorial Sloan Kettering has a early onset cancer center in New York, because people are getting it younger than 40.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's just important for us to, of course, watch what we eat, and also just watch what we're putting in our bodies, smoking and things of that nature. But even that, everything is environmental,
Right.
because his genetic testing, there's nothing in his genes that for cancer. There's nothing that indicates that he should have had cancer. And they said it's all environmental.
And
Wow.
it's funny because I just finished saying that the other day.
Mhm.
I said, so I lost my uncle to colon cancer,
I'm sorry.
and I lost my
Sorry.
father-in-law to cancer as well. And I said, these people, I know people, not them two, but people that they work out, they eat healthy. They, to me, have done everything healthy-wise properly,
Right.
but they end up with cancer. I said, what's the last thing left? Your environment. So I can say I agree with that environment part, because people are getting it, it's not genetic.
Yeah,
Right.
for
People are
sure.
getting it, it's not genetic. And it's not until more, unfortunately, younger people start to pass away from it that they'll keep lowering the age. Why? Because the health insurance people don't want to pay for it.
Right.
There is no, like you said, it's in New York, but do they have that in the Poconos, in Pennsylvania? Not talking about Philly, nothing against Philly, but here for us, do they have it for us, for the younger people? Like instead of being finding something to do after you get it, how do we be proactive?
Well,
Right.
the
Right.
key to being proactive is having the information and knowledge, because you can request
Mm-hmm.
a colonoscopy. You don't have to wait till you're 50.
Okay.
You don't have to wait till their guideline. Look, Coco, you know my story.
Mm-hmm.
I had open heart surgery,
Wow.
quadruple bypass. I had a nuclear stress test, and they told me that I passed the nuclear stress test. Nothing was wrong with me. And it was one little thing. They said the nuclear stress test is 85% accurate. And you know what I said? Well, since I got that good health coverage, why don't y'all do a catheterization to make sure I'm 100%
Right.
Right.
okay? Because if you request it, in most cases, your health coverage won't deny it. In most
Right.
cases, if you requested it, now if it's something that they feel is frivolous, if you have frivolous stuff constantly, if you're a hypochondriac,
Right.
they'll flag it and they'll probably say no. But because I just had a nuclear stress test, and they know there's only 85% accurate, I had the ability to request,
Mhm.
go inside and look inside, make sure I was okay. And lo and behold, they sent me 2 weeks later, to go and have a cat go to the cath lab so they can go take a look inside. And I had 4 blockages that was 90% blocked
Wow.
in my heart.
Wow.
You know, had I not asked, I would not have known.
Right.
And while I'm laying there on the cath table, and they tell me that you need to have heart surgery, I said, well, can I go home and think about it? You know, because Dr. Zonka called the surgeon down to take a look, which was Dr. Zamba. And he came down and looked, and I said, well, can I go home and think about it? He said, no,
Oh, no.
I can't let you leave here. You can walk up a flight of stairs and have a massive heart attack.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Now, they just told me I passed a nuclear stress test. You know what I mean? But the doctor told me if I walk up a flight of stairs, I can have a massive heart attack.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So you can request stuff, you know what I mean? But having the knowledge is important.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to have the knowledge. So if that's why this thing that we're doing, Unity Community, is very important, because we want to be able to share all this type of information about all these things. Let's talk about cancer. Let's talk about
Right.
health, because let's talk about healthcare. Because if you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
you'll never know. But
Right.
people like Shaquana, myself, we have the information. We know different things. We got to be able to share it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I kind of want to piggyback off that. I used to be a CNA. Okay, I worked on an orthopedic floor, and a lot of things that people didn't know is that, let's say you are having all these feelings, and they're like, "Yo, we don't know what's going on with you. You know, just take this medication, go home." You can deny that request. You can tell them to do more testing. You can deny them telling you, "Hey, here's your release form." If you feel that there is something wrong with you, ask them to do more testing. Like, that is so important.
Yeah.
So
I agree, and you have to be your own advocate in many
Right.
ways. When it comes to Rand, I call him Swift, I call him Rand. When it comes to him, you know, his family, you know, after he was diagnosed, they said, well, he always had stomach problems. So it was just a thing that they knew. And I told him, I said, you need to go to the doctor. I don't like the way you look. I don't like the way, you know, and he would go. But when he was diagnosed in November of 2019, he had just gotten a physical in May 2019, and
Wow.
it was perfect. So, but it's that you letting the doctor know everything that's going on with you. I know, like with some men, they don't like to let the doctor know
Right.
what's happening, or whatever it is, you need to let them know. So he actually taught me some things as well, going through this journey with him, because now I'm like, hey, listen, what's wrong with you? All right, you go and you
Right.
get this. And I actually, you know, had some stomach pains as well. And I told my doctor, I said, hey, listen, something doesn't feel right. I need to get some testing done. She's like, well, there's no family history of cancer. There's no that. I said, hey, check this out. I don't care how much it's going to cost.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm going
Right.
to get this test.
There you
And
go.
she gave me the test.
Mhm.
So, but there was thankfully nothing there. But it's that it's that thing where the doctors always have to worry about insurance. But so it's you have to be your own advocate and say,
Right.
you know what, no, run this. It's okay. It's gonna get paid for.
Right.
But I'd rather have that security to let me know that I am okay.
Right.
And it could be like I was here, Auntie, you old. No, you better hope you can get my age. Let's start there.
Okay.
So in my family, we talk about everything. Some families, it's a taboo to talk about sickness and this. All we're taught is go to school, get an education, get a job, and take care of yourself. Be a man or be a woman and handle your business.
Right.
But we never really talk about health. So that's why when I hear my nephews or Auntie, you old. I'm like, wait till you get into your 30s. Things is gonna change. So I don't know, like, how do we advocate not just for ourselves, but for a community, a unity of all of us? How do we go to the point of saying, all right, you said it was at 40, 45?
Now it's 45.
Now it's 45. How do you advocate for that to go even lower, besides having more people get sick? That's a question that I want to put out there.
Right.
That's a great segue to what I was going to talk about. It is, we have created a foundation, of course, in memory of Swift, but also I'm working with the Colon Cancer Coalition and Fox Chase Cancer Center in Philly to try to get that out there and into more communities.
Mhm.
So it's in the developing stages right now, but we are, I have all of the pamphlets, I have everything that I told Terry I would give to him because I won't be in attendance
Right.
at the Unity and Community Day, but it's just having like those walks and those colon cancer awareness. March is colon cancer awareness month, so we're going to be doing something here as well, like a fundraiser or so for colon cancer in the community, because we need to bring awareness to it, because the colonoscopy can be a very daunting test, and a lot of people, and especially in the Black and brown community, they don't like that whole sticking your whatever up, but I promise you it is important, because
Right.
when Randy was diagnosed, his brother actually got the test as well, and he's 31. He would have never gotten it, and they did find 2 polyps that they have to
Wow.
remove.
Wow.
And polyps are just cancerous growths. Growths on the rectum or in the colon, and they can turn into
Into-
cancer. They
Right.
start as benign, but they can turn into malignant cells if they're not removed.
Wow.
So, and he's 31.
Right.
Right.
So, and had his brother not gotten cancer, he wouldn't have gotten that test. You
Right,
understand?
right,
So
right.
it's that awareness, like Terry said, we have to make the community aware of how important it is to go get tested, even if your insurance doesn't cover it.
Mhm. And we have a comment from Trish. It says the crazy part is we have other countries giving their people free health insurance.
Right, that is true.
Mhm.
Very true. We understand that, it's free health insurance in other parts of the world, and hopefully, we get to that point, but that is a minor issue for me when it comes to free health insurance. I'm more focused on advocating for these testing and things of that nature, because cancer is taking people out by the thousands, hundreds of
Mhm,
thousands every
mhm.
year, and it's slowly becoming the leading cause of death.
Mhm, mhm.
So we have to, whatever it is, get the resources out there, get the knowledge out there for those people to get what they need.
Right. And it's
Um,
not an older person thing.
No.
It's an everybody's
Right,
thing.
It's
right.
everybody's
Even
thing.
as ethnic people, we are not believed. So sometimes we
Oh,
have
yeah.
to sit here and literally advocate for ourselves. Like, hey, this is what's going on. This is how I'm feeling.
Mhm.
I need it checked.
And like Coco said, and families don't talk about health.
Yes.
So there's some things that once Randy got diagnosed, that we found out, okay, well, this person had cancer, this grandmother, this great aunt, what? You're
Wow.
lying. So it's like, they don't have those conversations, and we need to foster those relationships within families
Right.
and within the community, to have those conversations, because they're important. When you ask, your family history is very important.
Like when these
Mhm.
kids start going to the doctor and they say, "What's your family history?" They're gonna be sitting going, "I don't know."
Yeah,
Right.
even
I don't
when
know.
you're
And
pregnant,
then they
they're
won't
asking
test
those
them,
questions.
right?
Yeah,
And then they
yeah.
won't test them for those things. They only go off of really family history. And I tell my daughters, and Randy and I didn't have any children, but we have 3 sons. So
Mhm.
it's like, hey, listen, they need to be tested as well
Right.
at a certain age. Like, let them, whatever's going on with you, make sure that you're letting the doctor know that this is your family history, regardless of what they say. Get tested.
Get tested. Yeah, absolutely.
Get screened, I should say.
Zoe, you have any input you want to say?
I'm ready for a colonoscopy.
and
Yeah.
that's the reaction we need.
That's
Yes.
right. And, look, and don't forget about that prostate.
Yes,
You know,
and the
that's right.
prostate.
Yes.
Yes,
That's right.
for men. Yes,
That's
for
right.
sure.
You
No,
know,
not
because
wanting to go
much.
like most of us, men of color, we, guess what? We a man's man. We're all homophobic. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's the way we were raised, right?
Mhm.
So, you're not sticking nothing up my behind.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But they came up with a test, right? The PSA test, a blood test, right? But sometimes that test isn't accurate either. You know what I mean? It's nothing like the old-fashioned finger to
Mhm.
feel the prostate, to
Mm.
feel if your prostate is just enlarged, which happens with age,
Mm.
or if there's any growth on that prostate. So sometimes you have to be uncomfortable sometimes,
Right.
because that little 5 seconds of being uncomfortable could save your life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
true.
So,
So
you
true.
know, like I tell everybody, you get one opportunity to make a first impression, right? Tomorrow's not promised to anybody. They got that video going around social network where the man was telling somebody, I'll give you $10 million. Will you take it? But the catch is you can't wake up tomorrow. You know what I mean? And how many people say, well, that's not a deal.
Right.
You keep your 10 million, I want to wake up tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right.
So that's what it is. So what you think, Zell? Give you a young man, give us your input.
Well, I mean, that's definitely just not a common conversation. If I could think of anybody, it'd be my mother. My mother would have these conversations of like family history, or she get tested,
She would.
get your physical, like, you know, she'd be on me for that. But outside of that, it's not really, you know, none of my boys is talking about, I should probably get a colonoscopy. You know?
Yeah.
That's not a conversation that I have outside of my mother that I could think of. So this is it's really eye-opening. And I mean, for health, that all that cool stuff got to go out the window. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. But you know, it's just a conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the conversation can save lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, the life you might say might be your own.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because one thing about us, what we don't realize, our body don't lie.
Mhm.
You know, the body will always tell you something's wrong.
Mhm.
You know, something is wrong.
Right.
You know, and there's some things that's going to happen with age. You know, when you get up, you get my age, you get out the bed, and you stretch, you're like, oh man, you know, your knees is bothering you, your back bothering you.
Right.
Yeah, okay, we know what some of that is. They're going to introduce you to this thing called Bengay at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with you,
Thanks.
you know. That's that. But then there's other things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna blow your mind with this here, right? You're gonna get one morning, you can go to the bathroom.
Mhm.
You can go urinate in the bathroom, and you got this healthy stream of urine,
Mhm.
like a fire hose. One day you're gonna go there, it ain't gonna be the fire hose, and it's gonna split.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You're gonna have two separate streams of urine coming out.
Mhm.
You're gonna be like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna be a little older then, right?
Mhm.
And you know what that means?
No, I don't.
That means your prostate's enlarged.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Wow.
And that's the first sign that there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? So how many people think about that? Men, you know what? A lot of men who have prostate cancer or have issues with their prostate, you know what I mean? That's the first sign you get, you know, and you start seeing that when you get into your 50s. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you got cancer,
Right.
because when you get a certain age, you know what? Your testosterone levels drop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it affects your body. You know what I mean? And one of the things that happen with men, the older you get, your prostate gets enlarged.
Mhm.
And when your prostate gets enlarged, what does it do? It puts pressure on your urethra where your urine comes out. So it compresses it a little bit.
Mhm.
So your stream gets weaker, you know. So, and sometimes it just, the way it comes out, it splits your stream. You know what I mean? So, but I'm just using that as an example of how your body will show you that there's something wrong. You know what I mean? If you're always constipated, if you have to take a stool softener on a regular basis, something's wrong.
Right.
Because to have a healthy digestive system, it's supposed to be one meal in, one meal out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't, if it's taking you days to digest your food, well, something's wrong. Either you're
Right.
eating the wrong foods or something's wrong.
Right.
You know, so let's check all that stuff out. But it's just a conversation. Sometimes it's a hard conversation to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we do that here at Unity Community
Mhm.
Radio Show. We talk about it. Things that you may not hear in your home, things you may not hear among your peers. We talk about it here at Unity in the Community Radio Show, hosted by Dansbury Park. Hosted by Gynesis Radio. So we had a question here, and Zell, I'll turn this over to you. Maybe not you directly, but if you could think of your friends or people you know. It says, why are men afraid to get their prostate checked? And I mean, Terry kind of talked about it, but
I guess because you would be assuming that something's wrong, probably. So it kind of scares you. Like, no, I'm good.
mm-hmm,
Help you.
Yeah.
I feel fine. We need to check. I'm a man, you know.
mm-hmm.
I think that's when that's the first thing that comes to mind. Is just like you don't want to put yourself in a position where something might be wrong with you because that makes you vulnerable.
Right.
And a lot of guys have a lot of issues with being vulnerable, especially to a doctor, somebody they don't really know like that. You know?
Right.
Vulnerability, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that's a big thing. I mean, and overall, it could be just them not having somebody who went through it before to like make it feel like that's a regular thing.
Mhm.
And if it's new to you, it's like, oh, I don't know nothing about that. I've known me for forever, and I'm alive. So I
Right.
think that's also thought process too. It's just the unfamiliarity of it. So that's what I, off the top of my head, you know, first thing that comes to mind.
Okay. Thank you for your perspective.
Yeah.
I'll turn it over to you now.
Okay, well, the best thing that a person can do is have annual checkups and blood tests.
Mhm.
So if you have a blood test, you may not have to go through all the other process, because in the blood test, it'll tell you whether your PSL levels are high or not.
Mhm.
So, and another way that you kind of feel that you may have a problem, especially when you're talking about your prostate, going to the bathroom,
Mhm.
like in the middle of the night.
Mhm.
1 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, you gotta go to the bathroom. You wake up again at 3 o'clock, you gotta go to the bathroom. You probably got a problem.
Mhm.
And then you get a blood test.
Right.
Tell you right away.
Yeah, I think you have to pay attention to your body.
Yeah.
Right,
You know when something is off. When it comes to colon cancer, the only way that you can actually detect that is via a colonoscopy. But they have this there's a level, a CEA level, a carcinogen embryonic antigen level, and you can only request that. They can only actually request that particular testing for your blood if they suspect you have colon cancer. And if there is, if they give you the colonoscopy and they say, you know what, let's see where they are, how much or how big this tumor is. You really won't know. And that's why I said it's like so silent. Prostate is something different because you have some really good symptoms that you can actually determine, you know what, this is not right. But with colon, it's not. It's so silent. It's so silent. So a blood test wouldn't even determine it.
Wow.
I think it's really great that you're bringing awareness to this, because I have a little story, but I'm not going to name the certain someone, but we went for this certain someone to go get a colonoscopy, and he sat there. He saw all the jokes on the wall. Okay, during the process, he saw the jokes. It was booty jokes, so they had all that on there. And let me tell you, this man got right on up and he walked right on out. And he did not get it. But now that you're bringing awareness to this is something where I'm like, okay, well, now I can go home, make sure like, hey, this is something that we should get checked just in case.
Yes.
So,
Well, what are the symptoms of colon cancer?
The symptoms, let's see, blood in your stool, not able to use the bathroom. Same thing with prostate, right? Not able to use the bathroom. Also, stomach pains, constipation, anything that you would be like, okay, I'm like, what did I eat today?
right.
Something like as small as that, anything that would affect your stomach, your digestive system. And those are the things that we like, man, I shouldn't have had that ice cream, or I'm lactose intolerant, or I can't use the bathroom, but it's probably I'm not getting enough fiber in my diet. So you go in and you self-diagnose and you on WebMD, like, okay, well, this is that. But it very well may be that, but it could be something else too.
You can't depend on Dr. Google.
Correct. So you may want to just tell your doctor what you're feeling, how long you've been feeling these symptoms, and then let them make a determination. Now, if you don't agree with that, that's when you come in and be your own advocate and say, you know what,
Right.
I think you should check this and I can tell them, okay, well, my husband had this, so you know what, I need you to check that.
Right.
But we have to be knowledgeable. We have to be made aware of those types of symptoms.
And also have a doctor that cares. Because if you have a doctor that don't care, they'll just give you a pill
And
or
write
tell
you
you.
off.
Yep. Yep. So not only do you have to be your own advocate, you also have to be an advocate for yourself to find a good doctor.
Yeah.
Ask for referrals, and that's what we're doing here, networking and sharing the information.
I with Randy, even with him being diagnosed, when he would go after his chemo treatments, and we're talking 46 hours of chemo every 2 weeks. He would say the next appointment, that's why I always went with him. He'd say, yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm all right, doc. I'm just living. No, he's not. Let me tell you what's going on.
Right.
And then they would change the meds because certain things aren't supposed to be happening or interacting with one another. And I'm like, you see, you have to, even now that you have cancer, you're not even your own advocate. You know, it's crazy. But we just have to do our best to be, of course, our own advocates, and then let the community know that this is real. This is happening.
Get yourself checked.
Get yourself checked.
And we're going to share more of this information on our social media page, which is Unity in the Community, Northeast PA, Dansbury Park. So find us on social media, follow us on IG at Unity in the Community PA, Dansbury. Facebook is Dansbury, and the IG is without Dansbury, but it's Unity in the Community, Northeast PA. All right, so you have anything else you want to share with us?
Just that there'll be pamphlets and all types of information at the Unity in the Community Day. I don't know what the table is going to be, but we'll have it. Terry will have it. And it's going to be a plethora of information in English and in Spanish. So don't act like you don't know. Okay.
All right.
So,
and Spanish.
Okay.
We're gonna have it right there on the Unity in the Community table.
Yes.
So it'll be right there. That's good.
And I had Shaquana come on the show when she said she couldn't make it. I was like, wait, we got to share this story because I heard you speak at the comedy show that was up in Kalahari. I was like, oh, she has to be a part of Unity Community one way or another. So when you told me you couldn't make it, and I was like, oh, can you at least come on a radio show and talk about it? Put this awareness out there. It's not an old people thing. You have to be an advocate for yourself, your own health.
Yeah.
That's a good conversation. I appreciate you sharing, man.
Mhm.
It's definitely stuff.
You're welcome.
I'm turning. I ain't gonna say my age, but I'm almost 30. I'll be almost 30, closer to 30 on August 22nd. So my birthday's coming up. But these are definitely, thank you. These are definitely conversations that need to be had between me and my peer group. Because this is the time where we start checking.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So I
His
really
brother was
appreciate this
31.
conversation. Yeah,
And
right.
he had those polyps removed. So
It's never too young.
It's never
at
too
that
young.
point.
Right.
Yeah.
And being that you're an artist, you should think about what we talked about, right? Because music is the greatest influencer of people. Pop culture shapes and molds the minds. You should consider creating a song dedicated to health. Talk about health, because whatever somebody else do, the next entertainer does the same thing. Sometimes you got to be the Joneses. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be with the Joneses. Sometimes you got to be the Joneses. You know what I mean? So it's something to think about. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I tell everybody, especially in entertainment, you got to be a visionary, right?
Right.
And if you want to go fast, you go alone. You know what I mean? And when you go alone, it's hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And most people that go alone, they run out of gas. They hit a big brick wall. But you want to go far, you go with the team. You know what I mean? You go with the team. As I tell a lot of people, a lot of young artists, they come here, we got the platform, I don't say nothing. If you look around, my experience is on the wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
It speaks for itself, but a lot of the young bulls think they can do it themselves, right? They got all the ideas. They the industry's changed. They can do it their way, right? Yeah, you can record at home. You can do all that, right? But it sounds like shit. You know what I mean? And you can't get the audience with the executives that write the check. They say, oh, I'm independent. No, you're not. All those cats that say they're independent, they're not independent. They started out doing independent stuff, but do you have marketing and promoting money? Do you know it takes a minimum of $250,000 to market and promote one record, a single, for 6 weeks? Nationwide, it takes $250,000. You got $250,000 to spend for 6 weeks on your record? Because most people think, I want to release it on iTunes and on this one, on that one. Well, guess what? There's 100 million kids just like you doing the exact same thing.
Right.
What's going to make you different? What's going to make you stand out?
Right.
If you ain't got no money behind you, you ain't got no people behind you, you can have a platinum album in your basement and nobody will ever hear it. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can't go alone. You got to go with the team.
Right.
And one of the things I try to do, and I'm going to tell all the artists that's going to perform at Unity in the Community, you know, I give the platform for everybody. You know what I mean? We're better together. That's our mantra. We are better together, right? Don't come there and perform at 3 o'clock, do your 10 minutes on the stage or whatever, and you leave. Support the other artists.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's the person who is not signing up to be a part of the team. He's on a solo mission.
Right.
You know what I mean? He don't care about anybody but himself. You know what I mean? And that's the guy you're gonna see on the way up, because guess what? He gonna have to come back around. You know what I mean? Support all the artists. You know what I mean? So the guy that performs when we start performances at 1 or 2 o'clock, whenever we start performances, when we end at 7, that last guy should have the same amount of people in there hearing his performance as the guy that performed at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And trust me, I'm like an elephant. I got a good memory. You know what I mean? And I share this information with everybody. You know what I mean? If you paid attention, all the big stages all summer long up here, who ran them stages? I was a man pushing the buttons. You know what I mean? You got to network. You got to build a team.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you know, we're better together. You know what I mean? And that's the key. We got to build the community. We got to work together. We got to work smarter and not harder. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have a meeting. Might be Zoom. I'm going to have some people come here. Those who can't come here, be on Zoom. And we're going to talk about this as artists. You know what I mean? Here's the platform. Here's an opportunity. But support each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Support each other. Don't come and hit and run. You know what I mean? Because, you know, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You know what I mean? And there's a whole lot of you guys got a whole lot of talent. You know, very talented guys, man. You know, all you guys need an opportunity. And sometimes, you know, you get one opportunity to make a first impression, and you never know. You never know who's in the audience.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And sometimes talent might get you through the door, but your character will keep you in the room.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
You know?
one thing I like to say about this area that, you know, is contrary to big cities, that I feel like overall the artists that I've noticed at shows, they do a good job of sticking around and showing love as opposed to, I remember I did an open mic in Atlanta and just the energy afterwards was like nobody really cared for the next artist.
Right.
Which I was like, you know, I was like, you know, back home, I feel like we would have all, you know, fraternized a little bit more and like really like, you know, shared our network and you know, contact information. But that's a great point. But I definitely want to shout out the area, Northeast PA, for that, because I feel like this, you know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the area we appreciate people a little bit more, just because we know the situation that we're in. But
we try to create a movement, small town feel, you know, and a lot of you guys that's here, y'all are second and third generation people here. You know what I mean? I mean, y'all went to school here.
Right.
You know, if you went to middle school here, you're from here. Right. You know what I mean? And a lot of these kids, you know each other because you went to middle school together, they went to high school together. So, you know, you tend to know each other, as opposed to, you know, when I brought my kids here, you know, they had to get to know people, you know, and didn't have a whole lot of time to do it because they blinked and they would graduate from high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you were here, you got to marinate with and grow with these kids. So a lot of y'all got to grow with each other, you know, so you know each other. So y'all kind of support each other. But that's something that, you know, I noticed that a lot of people don't do, you know, because a few months ago, Strategy did it, you know, We did an event up in Mount Pocono, whatever that place is called up there. I think they closed down now.
The event center.
Yeah. Take the
Oh,
call.
got a
Take a
call
call.
coming in.
All right, speaker.
Hello, caller. Thank you for calling Union Community Northeast PA radio show here at Genesis. Who's calling?
This is Lenny Barnum, president of the Stallions Youth Sports.
Hi,
Keystone Stallion.
how are you? This is one of our
I'm doing
vendors.
great. How are you?
Good. This is one of our vendors calling in. So how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm out here at practice with the kids right now, as a matter of fact.
You're at Dansbury Park?
No, our field is at Replica Park.
Okay. Yep. So give us your name again, your company name, and what you plan on doing on August 26th.
So my name is Lenny Barnum. The name of the team is the Keystone Stallions. The name of the organization is Stallions Youth Sports. We're not just football. So we have flag football, tackle football, we have basketball, we have soccer, we have cheerleading, and we have step. So cheerleading and step is sort of combined, two within one. We're looking into softball and baseball at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And on August 26th, we are doing a collaboration with D-Zone Training. My man Denzel Saunders, myself, our coaches, his coaches, and we're going to have a flag football game. But the beauty of it is any of the neighborhood kids, the community kids that want to come and want to play in that game, they're welcome to play.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Good.
And what date is that?
Dansbury Park.
We're going to have ages anywhere from 6 to 12. And the more kids we get, we'll just break them up by age group and we'll have more than one game.
Okay, awesome.
That sounds
And
good.
this is on August 26th at Dansbury Park, 15 Day Street, Stroudsburg, PA 18302. And this will be earlier in the day around 11, correct? Or 10?
That's correct. We're going to do the game about 11:15.
Okay. Yes, around 11,
That's awesome.
11:15. So if you can hear the caller, they'll be doing flag football, Keystone Stallion with the D-Zone
Training, yep.
D-Zone Training. Children ages 6 to 12. They'll be starting at 11:15, so that means you need to be there by 10:45, so that you can sign up to be part of the flag football.
That's awesome.
And then I heard you were gifting us or making a donation. You want to talk about that?
Yes, we are done. Yes, we're going to donate a brand new bike.
Oh, that's
Yes,
awesome.
all right. So we're going to donate a brand new bike. Our way of giving back to the community. We do a lot of things in the community. We have a lot of events coming up that are in the community, and also a lot of events for our kids. But we also do things for our parents.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
That's so great.
Nice.
Yeah. So like Friday, August 18th, we're giving away 150 backpacks, the drawstring backpacks filled with school supplies.
That's
That's
So
what's
like
up.
notebooks, pencil boxes, sharpeners, pencils, crayons, color pencils, folders, and pretty much everything. We got our list from the school,
Mhm.
and we just basically we're doing 150 bags. From 10 to 12 p.m. will be the first 75 bags. From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. will be the last 75 bags. But also from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. where we have collaborated with MVP Cuts in Stroudsburg. They're in Stroud Mall.
Mhm.
We have two barbers coming from there, Barbara E and Barbara Ant. They're going to come over and they're going to do haircuts. The first
Haircut.
50 kids are going to get free haircuts. And then
Nice.
after that, it's going to just be $10 per haircut.
Okay.
Well, find out if they want to come to Dansbury Park and give back to the community as well, because it's 2 days before school start,
Right.
and we're looking for barbers. So that'd be nice.
Absolutely. I will definitely do that, and we can do. I'm not even against doing another back to school event at Dansbury once we do it over here at Replica.
Oh, that's
We can
even
definitely do
better.
that.
They say a closed mouth don't get fed.
Right.
Exactly. We also have an event coming up in November. We have two events where we're gonna have the kids host the veterans from around the community and also the veterans from VA Hospital and Roseberry. They're coming down and we're gonna have brunch for them, cater food.
Oh,
The kids are gonna put on sort of a little military skit, a fun fact for every branch of the military. We're gonna
nice.
feed them. They're gonna take pictures with them, and then at the end, we're gonna give them medals with the team logo on it that say the Stallion salute the vet.
That's what's up.
That's awesome.
Teaching the
And then
kids
the
from
week
young.
after that,
Yes.
the kids are gonna dress up and they're gonna have the uniforms on and everything, and they're gonna come out and we're gonna feed the homeless at First Presbyterian Church in Stroudsburg. So we're gonna have
Nice.
catered food for the homeless. We connected with Street to Feet and also with Soul Care Community Church, who is also going to be sponsoring with us that veteran event as well.
That's wonderful.
Soul Care is coming to Dansbury Park as well.
Oh man,
Nice.
so you gotta come by the station here. We gotta link
Yeah.
it together
Yeah.
and,
Yes,
and,
that's
and do a
awesome.
show. Use this platform to get your information out there, because right here in Northeast Pennsylvania, Gynesis Radio reaches about 110,000 people a month right here in Northeast Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
And we reach 3 million people a month, worldwide.
That's awesome.
But let's
Well,
get the word out.
We have a brand new website that just went live. Actually, we just went live a couple hours ago. It's stallionsusports.com.
Mhm.
And on there is a calendar of all the events we're doing.
Okay.
And there's a place where you can become a sponsor, you can do donations, you can even do suggestions and request more information.
Yeah, there
Very
you go. son.
interactive website. You get to see the kids on the website. You even get to see the uniforms and things on the website. We have an online store where you can order Stallions gear.
Mhm.
And it's not just like the jerseys and everything. It's everything that the kids wear. It's t-shirts, it's hoodies, it's backpacks, it's cups, it's leggings for the ladies. I couldn't leave the ladies out, you know what I mean? So we have a little bit of something for everybody. We have beach towels and things like that. And everything that we do goes towards the kids. It goes towards equipment. We were able to take our kids to Lincoln Financial Field to see the Eagles on August 6th.
I heard. I was trying to get in the car. Last week, Sunday,
But,
or Sunday
the
before.
fundraising and things like that, those donations and everything, that helps us give them transportation for those who otherwise wouldn't be able to go.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
beautiful.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Shout out to
Absolutely.
Keystone Stallion and D-Zone.
Yeah.
Again, Unity in the Community, Saturday, August 26th. The flag football ages 6 to 12 will start at about 11:15. So please bring your children out by 10:45 so they can sign up to play.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And since we getting
Absolutely.
we're gonna have free Coke products, so
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. I keep saying Coca-Cola products,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Got to clean that up. We're gonna have Coca-Cola products. So I'll make sure we got some cool. Have some coolers out there. So we'll send some of them Coca-Cola products down there by you guys while y'all out there with the kids with the flag football and all that stuff, man. Have some refreshments down there, as a part of our donation for Unity in the Community down there. What y'all doing with the kids over there.
And we truly appreciate all that you do for the Northeast PA. I was hearing some great things. I was like, oh, they got to do flag football. They got to be a part of this so that we can get you on the radio.
Yeah,
so
when
we're going to get
when we were
you
told
in
about
here.
it, we were approached by it. We were like, oh, definitely. Anything that we can do in the community, we will always be a part of it. So if you all have like any events, anything, please reach out.
Oh yeah.
We will happily be a part of it. Our parents will always bring the kids. They're very good like that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're all about giving back to the community, giving to our kids. And like I mentioned before, we have stuff for the parents. Like we're gonna rent out Impact Zone. The parents are gonna have adult laser tag night.
Oh, that's cool.
During practice one night, we're sending them to a wine tasting while we're at practice. Just different things like that. And the fundraiser we have is going so well that we honestly might end up being able to do 2 bikes for Dansbury.
All
Okay,
right.
great.
It continues to go the way
Yes.
that it's going. You know what I mean? Just give. The more we get, the more we want to give. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Just
That's right.
keep giving back to the community. If you love your community, the community will love you back.
Yeah,
That's
That's
right.
so true.
And what's great about it, like I said, we don't have the Coca-Cola products there, and our rep that's helping us out with this event, she's going to be in the park. I don't know exactly what time she's going to get there. She came out last year and looked at the event, and she signed off immediately on it, and gave us some vouchers for some soft drinks, and they signed up and locked arms with us again this year. And what you're doing, I'm gonna walk her down there to meet you guys, because your program and what you do,
Right.
Coca-Cola get right behind that.
Yep.
Awesome.
They get
I
right
appreciate that,
they
definitely.
get right behind that, because what's ironic is there's funding out there for these type of things, right? But a lot of people don't
Right.
know how to get the funding, because it's a process that you have to fill out these applications, and it's online, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you answer
Right.
one question wrong, you can cancel Christmas. They say, you don't qualify.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you got somebody that can walk you through, and tell you, okay, answer these questions, answer this question this way, bang, 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 and it can get you to the interview process to get somebody on the phone with you, what you just said and what you just did is a grand slam. You know what I mean? But I'm
Absolutely.
gonna introduce you to Cynthia, on that day, and get you guys
That's
talking,
awesome.
and
That's awesome. And we have a presentation that I have on the laptop that will tell everybody all about us, what we do, what our vision is, what our goal is, what we've done to date, and what we want to do. So
Mhm.
I will definitely bring that as well.
yeah, definitely have it on.
Perfect.
Have that on hand, because one thing about me, I'm not selfish, and when I say I'm all about building the community and sharing, you know what? I lend out everything I got. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right.
Because our mantra is we're better together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And let's leave our mark. We want to build and not destroy. It's easy to destroy, but let's build. Let's bring all our resources
Right.
together. You know what I mean?
Exactly, brother.
And show
Yeah.
people that what, we don't need you, we want you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. Right.
Because if you don't want to help us,
Yeah.
it's okay, because we can do it on our own. You know what I mean? You're welcome to the party. You're welcome to have a seat at the table, but you know what? We're gonna make it happen by hook or by crook. If we all bring our resources to the table and not be selfish with it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Not be selfish with it.
Right.
So that's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
and I feel like if we're really saying it's all about the kids, then it needs to be stronger together, which is why I don't mind collaborating with other organizations. I just don't, not
Right.
at all. You know what I mean? If you and I can come together and combine our kids and make a great event and a great feeling for the community and build off of that, then why shouldn't we do it?
Right.
You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
That's right.
And a lot of people don't understand this stallion thing that we just started. It was born June 8th
Wow.
of this year. We just started this, and I started it with my own capital.
Mhm.
But it was something I wanted to do for the kids. It was something it was a vision I had. It was somewhere I wanted to go. It was hearing parents, from different experiences around different organizations, and it's like, okay, let me give them something that's really and truly different.
Mhm.
There you go. Well,
And that's what we're doing.
I love that, because you know what? Sometimes you have to be the leader. Like I was just telling Zell, sometimes you got to be the Joneses. You know what I mean? You got to be the guy that set the example,
Right.
that everybody
Right.
want to be like, and I get it, because I'm not afraid to spend my own money, because if you don't invest in you, why would anybody else want to invest in you?
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's how I always look at it. I have to be my biggest investor.
Yep.
Right.
We have to be our biggest investors, and then everybody else will see what we're doing, what we want to build, and then they'll be like, okay, you know what? That right there is an asset. So let's
Mhm.
join. How do we become part of? And those are the types of things that I want to build. I want the kids to have fun. I want them to be competitive. I want them to be, we want to win, but we also want to have fun.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? I want the parents to know when they pay registration, they don't have to second guess where their money's going. They know
Right.
where their money's going. You
Right.
can see the uniforms. For instance, our tackle football team has, I got them reversible jerseys. So they have a home and away jersey and two alternates. They got 4 pairs of socks to go with it. Then I'm thinking to
Nice.
myself, how do I make it easier on the single parents, the single moms, the single dads who may not know where to go to the store and get. So we had a sponsor. We're working with a sponsor with local sponsors, Diner, Food Town. And then we're working with Verizon, where my
Nice.
mom works. We're working with Soul Care Community Church, and they're funding brand new helmets about 50 of them.
Nice.
Brand
That's
new
nice.
shoulder pads for next season.
That's awesome.
And they'll be able to get that at registration, but they'll also, with the jerseys, they got integrated pants. So now you don't have to go out and buy football pants separate. They're
Nice.
already packed.
Nice.
You know what I mean? They get jerseys. They're going to get practice shorts, practice jerseys. They get that separate. And they also get a duffel bag in registration. And this
Nice.
is all in registration. They get it at the time of registration. Because what we did was we ordered it in bulk
Okay.
so that we have it already on hand. So when we start doing registration, they can get their uniforms the same day of. Now, if they want the kids that we already have their names on the back of the jersey.
Oh, okay.
So the thought process was everybody's going to want their name on the back of the jersey. So my wife, we invested in a sublimation machine, we invested in the cricket and all of that. She's putting it on there for them.
Nice.
So you still get
Nice.
your jersey, and it's only going to take 24 hours for her to put the name on the back.
Right.
How do we make it easier? You know what I mean?
Right,
Same thing with
yeah.
basketball. They get they get a reversible jersey. It's a home and away, with the shorts to match. They get two of those, 2 jerseys, 2 shorts. So technically, with it being reversible, you get 4.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get a shoot around shirt. They're gonna get an arm sleeve, and they're going to get a book bag. And again, with tackle football too, going back to that, they're gonna get an arm sleeve and they're gonna get a pair of gloves. All the kids do it. Now, the reason I wanted all of that in the registration package is because I don't want any kid who may be less fortunate to feel as though this kid has the new helmet. This kid has the arm sleeves. This kid has gloves and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come here, everybody has the same thing. And the other thing that, we do different is you only have to sign up for registration with $50 for any sport or all sports. The registration total, you then get a fundraiser. You can push your fundraiser and use that money to pay your registration.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Exactly. That's how
You know what I
people
mean? It's
support you.
Right.
It's different things, different ways to make it easier on parents. Because I've been a parent, so I know what it's like, especially
Mhm.
parents with multiple kids. And
Right.
they're like, if I could push a fundraiser to pay for this, then you'd be surprised how hard they push it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
it goes into that kid's account. If it pays for registration, that's it. And whatever's left over, they can then go to the team store, buy accessories, or they can hold on to it and use it for transportation when we do events.
Right.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, and can't wait to meet you in person. And just a quick question I have over here: the bike, is it a girl or say male or female, or is it a unisex bike?
We got a bike that could be, it's a unisex bike.
It's
So
a unisex bike.
we pretty much got a black and silver bike just so everybody can use it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Because that was my thought process is, how do we make it, unisex? And if not, I was just gonna buy a boy bike and a girl bike.
Okay. Understood.
You know what I mean?
Understood.
But we'll make, it's unisex, the one that we have.
Well, we thank you for supporting Union Community, and we look forward to working with you and doing different events with you, with your company as well. But thank you for calling in, and then you enjoy the rest
Thank
of
you
your
all for
day.
having me.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your day.
Enjoy your day. All
All right,
so
y'all have a good night. Stay safe.
you
All right,
too.
you too.
Okay. So I want to talk about the entertainment. We did touch on it briefly. So on Saturday, August 26th at the Dansbury Park for the second Unity and Community Day at 15 Day Street, Stroudsburg, PA 18302 from 11 to 7, we're going to have Tay Baby, Jay Chosen. We're going to have Connect Dancers, Bookworm, Vargas Brothers, and Fearsome Brothers, and Terry. Are there more?
Oh, it's too many to name at this point. Zell gonna be there, man. You look,
Yeah.
Zell will know I might have him close the show, man, because this dude here is so talented, man.
I
Like,
got pictures of him from 1836.
hey,
I saw you perform one
Yeah.
night. I came. I'm gonna find them when I get home. I'm a photographer.
Hey, look.
Incognito. I will post them on the Unit Community
at
page.
the Juneteenth, right? He hung around like a trooper. I
Mhm.
respected this dude because he was there early, right?
Mhm.
And he closed the show out, right?
Mhm.
And he went out with a bang. You know what I mean? And I respected that because you know what? You don't see that
Mhm.
with a lot of people. He didn't complain.
Mhm.
He came up. He was ready to perform. He, you know, his flash drive was ready. He was set up. Boom. He was ready to go. You know what I mean? He did a quick sound check. Boom. He was ready. And he just went and waited patiently. You know what I mean? And came and did his thing. You know what? And I said, okay. You know, I'm one of them dudes that, you know, I watch very intently. You know what I mean? Because it's an attitude. You know, it's the energy that you bring, you know, and he had good, he had good energy, you know what I mean? And he got his own little style that's going on, right? And I'm like, okay, all right. Check him out. And Coco, he did music from our era, you know, he was our tracks, right? So as soon as I heard the music, I said, who this cat think he is? I said, right away, I said, this is Joker. You know what I mean? I called him a Joker. This is Joker. You know what I mean? And he flipped it. You know what I mean? He flipped it, and it made me think about it. I said, I like this guy. You know why? Because you took me back to who we were in the 90s. When we took the disco tracks and the R&B tracks that my older brothers and sisters was rocking to, and we flipped them. You know what I mean? And it was like, yo, hold up, what y'all know about that? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and they became hit records. And so I said, oh, this cat is on to something right here. You know what I mean? You know?
I appreciate it. I'm heavily influenced by the 70s and the 80s. And in the 90s. Yeah, it's just ultimate pay homage. If I ever flip anything or write over something that I heard, is because I loved it so much. I had to put my own flair on it. But yeah, definitely heavily influenced. My father put me on early to the, you know, the Whispers, you know, the Rick James, you know, all the funk in the 70s that's like at the root. You see, you know, the afro and everything, you know.
You got the style. You got the style.
Yes, sir.
It's embedded in me, you know. That's when the music was really slow cooked.
That's right.
Made, you know, right, you know.
That's right. You know, he said the right things. I told Rud strategy. I said, yeah, he cooking with gas. This dude here. He cooking with gas. You know what I mean? You know, so you know.
But I appreciate it. Shout out DJ Rod and DJ Strategy and you, because y'all all set the vibe. Y'all had the sound.
Yeah, you know.
At the NAACP NCNW event. At ESU. Y'all handled it too. So
yeah, well, you know, we do our thing.
Right.
You know? we do our thing. But like I said,
coming outside.
But
you should.
Well, come outside and play. We better together. You know.
You said you don't like to be outside. I'm like, I come outside.
Yeah. You know, so I'm looking forward to it because you know what? I'm gonna tell you. You are a leader, you know, and if anybody can rally these guys together, because I saw how people rallied around you, you know what I mean? See, I'm from the outside looking in, right? All these young artists respect you. Now, there's one dude up here, I'm gonna put him out there, Candyman Kai. He's very good, right? But his head is in the wrong place. You know what I mean? You know, he's not teachable. You know what I mean? Because he think he has all the answers. And I tried to tell him, bro, ain't nothing new under the sun. But it's your attitude. The talent can get you there. You know what I mean? But it won't keep you there. You know what I mean? Because I know a whole lot of people. You know, I'll give you an example. Vanessa Williams, everybody know her, the first Black Miss America, right? Everybody loved her, right? If you look around here, her plaque ain't on the wall here. But as a kid, I worked with her, right? I hated her because she was nasty. You know, she was very nasty, mean. You know what I mean? She thought she was all that in a bag of chips. And I got a platinum plaque for the work I did with her. You know what I did that plaque? It meant nothing to me.
Right.
I gave it to my guy Reggie and them. It's in their studio down in Jacksonville, Florida. You know, he said, man, you got on them plaques, man. Let me get one of them plaques and then take her. I get her. You know what I told her? She said, I'll never work with you again. I said, I don't want to work with you again. You know what I mean? You know, because sometimes it's people's energy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When was the last time you heard a record from Vanessa Williams? After the right stuff, that was it. Because nobody wanted to work with her again because she was nasty. She was unapproachable. She couldn't take direction. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I try to tell Candyman Kai, you're very talented. You're good.
Mm.
You know, but you don't know it all.
Mm.
You have to listen. You know what I mean? Because, dude, I know how to turn nothing into something. And if you bring something to the table, well, guess what? We can make it work.
Mm.
You know what I
Right.
mean? You know what I mean? Because listen, sometimes all you gotta do is show up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And the rest will be history.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But all these cats, they look up to you. You know what I mean? You could be the leader of the pack, man.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You could really be the leader of the pack, man, and write your own ticket.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the energy that you exude, you know, and your lady finishing your manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amber. Yeah. Shout out Amber.
Yeah.
At Rebellious, she gets me right for the show.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
makes sure I look good and I'm there on time.
The way y'all move together,
Yeah.
I said yes. See, like that's the dynamic duo right there. You know what I mean? That works good, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So all them cats that look at you, they should learn from you. You know, You're the teacher. They just don't know it. You know what I mean? Because they can't get it from me. Because I'm Fat Boy Fresh. I'm an old dude, man. You know, look at this old dude. What he don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. You know what I mean? He don't know nothing. But guess what? I just got my Aaliyah plaque reframed. You know what I mean? And put on the wall out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
listen, I done did it all.
Mhm.
Been there, done that. And I don't walk around and wear it on my sleeve. I don't brag about it. I don't do nothing. If you know, you know.
Right.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I done been around the world now. I know a little somebody's music thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pick up on it before you drop it. But,
Mhm.
bruh, you got something that's special, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just shape it, mold it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And work with the people that's willing to work with you, and always be approachable. When there's an instructive tongue speaking, have an attentive ear. That means you have to use their advice, but always be open to listen. You know, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. So, like I said, don't be surprised if you know, Intro and all them other cats is there. Yeah, they platinum artists, they got all this other stuff. But you know what? The young people don't know them. They know you. You know what I mean? Because I know they all hung out to make sure they saw you perform. That says a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that. Wherever you put me, I'm ready. So
Yeah.
I humbly and gratefully
Yeah.
appreciate wherever you put me. I'll be ready to go.
It's definitely the constructive criticism. So taking that and running with it is definitely something. But you performed at Music Fest.
Yeah, last
Tell us
Friday.
something about that.
Yeah, that was crazy. Music Fest I love performing at Music Fest because it's a festival. It's a huge one. It's the biggest free music festival in the country too. Right in Bethlehem. So it's a staple. And yeah, like that's when you get your opportunity to perform in front of a bunch of people you don't know. And they just be ready to party, they just ready to have a good time. So it's up to you to carry the energy. Like they're just waiting for you to entertain them. So that was great. That was great. We're gonna have more content on my page. I just put a clip up on Real Zelly Zell on my Instagram. But I had background dancers, I had the background singers, the band went crazy. I had DJ Q open up the first 30 minutes of my set just to get the crowd engaged and everything. And it was a great time. I really hope to be there next year.